a little bit in terms of, this is the first one that India is hosting. It's the first impact summit that's coming from Global South. How is India seeing it? And then perhaps dive into the working group priorities.
Thanks, Archana. So, there's been around 4 global AI summits, right? And the first one happened in UK, and that was focused on safety. And out of that came the concept of safety institutes, which a lot of countries have now picked up. Then you had Korea, then Paris last year hosted the 3rd AI summit. And they called it the AI Action Summit, right? And the focus was on action, and the focus was also, I think, a large part of the takeaway from Paris was about the concept of control of AI came out pretty strongly. What India is doing, this is the first ever AI Impact Summit, and I want to make that very clear, right? We have very consciously decided that we are going to shift the narrative to impact creation. And I think that's a shift that is needed globally in the AI narrative. We've been talking for so long about the promise of AI, the potential of AI. I think there's a strong need for a shift towards actual impact creation, ROI from AI. And I think India is sending out a very strong signal by calling this the Impact AI Summit and focusing it on impact. And I think it's right that the country like India, and especially representing the Global South, is talking about impact, because that is so important for us. With the kind, with our population, with the urgency, we have to ensure that we see the results in terms of both economic development as well as social development. So I think it's the right focus. I completely agree with it. And actually, that's the focus of the working group that I have the privilege of co-chairing, which is about economic development and social development. And my co-chairs, really thrilled to have co-chairs from Netherlands and Indonesia. So as you can see, it's a very 360 representation of what impact means across mature countries and developed countries and developing countries. And we have nearly around 40 countries participating, a number of international institutes. And it's fascinating to see that despite the diversity of participation, the common thread that runs across our dialogues, our debates, our discussions is that the time has come for us to really focus on impact. It is going to be challenging, and this is where collective action is an absolute must. So collaboration, cooperation, collective action is a must. So what our group working committee is looking at is how do we unlock the pathways to accelerate the journey towards impact creation across countries, wherever they lie on the spectrum of development, right? So how do we unlock very inclusive pathways for accelerating the development journey? And I'll talk more about it later, but that's the focus.
Yeah, thanks.